This is Tag Wolverton. Tag is from, whereabouts are you from in the States, Tag?
I'm from South Carolina.
Okay, and you're now working near Amsterdam, Holland, yeah?
Yes, yep, 30 minutes north. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that journey. What brought you down to dear old Holland?
That's an excellent question, Colin. Yeah, God just kind of changed the circumstances in our lives, and we realized that we wanted to be a part of reaching and helping with youth ministry in Europe, because the States, there are a lot of resources and not so many in Europe.
Okay, but what's been your first? You've been there for 3 years now in Holland.
Yeah.
Give us some insight then to what are the big differences between the Dutch church and the American church.
Wow. Yeah, one is the availability of full-time or paid youth staff. That's been a huge thing. So most of the staff in the Netherlands are volunteer or they're part-time. Another one is the availability of resources for youth ministry, where in the States it's easier to go maybe get things off the shelf or from a publisher, and in the Netherlands most are having to create it from scratch. So it's really, I would say, probably pretty much resources.
And what about the positives? What gives you a buzz about youth ministry in Holland as opposed to America?
Wow, you should have given me time to think about this. Yeah, well, there's great potential. There's a lot of potential. Most people are aware that they need to do something for the youth ministry to work in the Netherlands and to reach into their communities, reach into their neighborhoods. So there's an openness and an understanding that what's been happening so far isn't working the way they would like it to. So that's actually a good opportunity.
Okay, so you're excited about the opportunities. By the way, I like giving people questions they can't think about, because I get an instant response as opposed to a slimy American one.
Thank you.
But tell us about these opportunities then. If things aren't working, what do you think will work in Holland?
Yes, I think, wow, a totally different approach. In terms of even training youth ministers, in terms of how they're structured in their roles. In the Netherlands, there's a division between what's called missionary youth work and church youth work, where typically they see that the church's job is to take care of church youth, and missionary youth organizations are responsible to take care of the teenagers who are outside the church. So to see that come together, where churches are more investing in youth ministry that's reaching out and discipling, I think that would be nice.
And have you got any examples of where that's actually happening and happening effectively and fruitfully?
I do know there is a town where a guy is doing relational youth ministry, where he's actually going to football fields, he's going to the schools and spending time doing discipleship groups outside of a Sunday morning and those types of things. And it's so different that the parents are noticing and saying, "Why are you spending time with my child? Like, why are you here?" And it's opening the door for them and for those teenagers to come to know Christ. So yeah, it is possible, but it's not widespread yet.
Okay, but there'll be people watching this who say, "Yeah, well, actually, that's where my heart is. That's what I want to be involved in." Let's start with those across the pond in America.
Yeah.
What would you say to a youth worker in the States at the moment, saying, "Here I am in a church in the States. Anyone can do this job. I want to go somewhere where no one can do the job, or no one is doing the job, I should say."
I would say, come on. Yeah, absolutely. It's a challenge, but there's an openness, and these are hard questions. I would say come. If God opens the door and you have the desire, I would say come, because it's not by accident that tug is there if they're looking for something else in another place to be useful in God's kingdom.
Okay, now I'm going to put your address up here at the end of this, and so they can, because they're going to want to say, "Okay, I'm ready to come. How do I get there?" So,
absolutely.
Now, what about Dutch Christians with a real passion for youth ministry? Who should they contact? How are you going to connect these guys so that you can together really start to see a difference in Holland?
Well, we'd like to see something happen with ICY. Can I say that?
Okay.
Can I
You can say that?
Yeah, so that would be something of a focal point for people to gather around together and start to do a different style of training and a different style of approach to youth ministry in the Netherlands.
Okay, well, we'll put up your details, Tag, at the end of this. But thanks very much indeed.
Yep,
That's Tag
perfect.
Wolverton.